of that student union. Leave the student union. Put down your everything bagel. It's the only thing we serve here.
I like the everything
Just
bagel.
mountains of everything bagels in the student union here at Salem University.
I like it, but I'm always afraid I'm going to get a sesame seed,
Just
like
stuck in the
one of
tooth.
those little black thingies that's in that stuff.
And nobody's going to say nothing. A little poppy seed, something. And nobody's going to say anything. They're just going to let you go throughout your day with a big old spot in between your teeth.
I don't
Strangers laugh at you.
I don't even care if it's a stranger. If someone has something funky on them, I will tell them.
Hey, by the way, you have a little cilantro between your front two teeth.
Exactly. And I say, you know what? I'm going to tell you something because I would like I would like that courtesy gone to me. So you have da 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 da. And they always say, "Thanks for telling me."
Thank you. Thank you for telling me. You're a good person. You're a good friend. You should walk through the grocery store and be like, you have a huge booger coming out of your nose, and then walk away and disappear. And as somebody tries to find their booger and they can't, they realize they've been lied to. That'd be funny. That'd be funny. That'd be funny. Michelle, Lara, Jeannie, get out of the student union. It's time for our walk across the quad as we drag ourselves into class.
Yeah.
Continuing to come.
Dang, why isn't spring break yet?
Right? Continuing to show up week after week, even though we don't have an instructor. You know, I found out Angela's been cheating on us.
Has she?
Yeah. Now, she admitted to it a long time ago.
Days of Our Lives somewhere else?
Yeah, you know, she admitted to it a long time ago, right here on the show, saying, hey, I'm going to do a Days of Our Lives podcast with my friend Tony. We're going to put it on pettyprattle.com. Well, folks, you know what I have to say? Don't go to pettyprattle.com. That's www.pettyprattle.com. Don't go there. Don't head over to www.pettyprattle.com. If you enjoy Angela, if you wonder what she thinks about Days of Our Lives, I tell you, avoid www.pettyprattle.com at all costs.
There you go. Now you know what not
to do. That's www.pettyprattle.com. You're going to look for, if you want to find it so you can leave your hateful commentary, www.pettyprattle.com. Look for the Dirty Talk podcast, specifically Flipping the Hourglass with Angela and Tony.
Is that what they call it?
Yeah, something like that.
That's an awesome title. I didn't know that.
So, you know, if you don't want to hear, I mean, if you're not going to support Angela and her Days of Our Lives podcast with her good friend Tony, if you don't want to listen to them tell stories and have a good time and enjoy the week of Days of Our Lives, if that's not in your wheelhouse, if you don't want to do that, then stay away from www.pettyprattle.com.
Yep. Now you know.
Folks, that was an ad. Go watch Angela's thing. I don't want to confuse anybody. Laura says I'm awfully petty.
I think most of our friends there probably know that about you by now.
I would hope that people can pick up the sarcasm when it begins to drip.
Yes,
I would hope. Drippy. It's been a long time. I've been doing this for a long time with you folks now. I hope that you can tell.
Yep.
Now Lara gets it. You're awfully petty, Matt. Oh my gosh. Lara missed last week because she was visiting her aunt and uncle in New York.
Well,
that's a good reason.
That's a good reason. And the thing is, though, if you want to hear what we had to say last week, you can still go and listen to last week.
Everything's there live. Well, not live. It's fake live, but it's on demand. You know, it's a replay. It's a whatever. It's whatever you want to call it. You know, whatever fits in your vocabulary. But it's still there. A video on demand, a VOD.
Yeah.
Whatever.
So,
hey, what's up,
Matt?
Yes.
That crazy old bat almost cut off Ava's hand.
Yeah, so Rachel Blake is nuts. She's our latest nuts person. We need to come up with a Rachel Blake name. You know, we could Crazy Connie, Crazy Nurse, Cockadoodie Connie, Crazy Nurse Whitley.
Yes.
I mean, we lean on crazy a lot. Do you remember our first crazy? I remember our first crazy. She was from All My Children, and it was far before we even podcasted. We talked at length about our enjoyment of Crazy Annie.
Crazy Annie and Janet from the Other Planet.
Janet from Another Planet, yes, but Crazy Annie was our first person that we titled with a descriptor of being insane.
That's
Crazy
Melissa
Annie.
Claire Egan, I believe her name is.
Yes,
And
yes.
she is on YNR, and she has been for,
Yeah,
gosh, she's
yeah.
been on YNR forever.
I think she was nominated for the Emmy last year or the year before or something for it.
Yeah.
She had a big scene. Her and, like, I guess his name is Finn or something. I don't know if that's Bold and the Beautiful. But it's her and somebody, and she's just going through mental break. Crazy Annie over on YNR.
Yeah. Well,
And she
I
wanted to
don't,
hurl herself from the top of the hospital because people like the 10th Floor podcast, and they listen to me call for Brad to do that so often that now I'm Beyond the Gates and Young and the Restless. We have people on top of hospitals trying to just throw themselves off.
right? I know. Even Sonny thought about it for a second one time.
Exactly. That's because 10th Floor Podcast, we're influential, this channel. We are an influence in the soap world. And you're welcome. And you're welcome.
So, yeah,
So, yeah.
that,
So,
that,
crazy Rachel Blake trying to cut off hands, trying to just get revenge, like medieval style.
I think that she is so crazy, so unstable that she'll turn on her daughter.
I think that Kristen is going to have to turn on her mother.
I think, yeah, but I think her mom's going to come out swinging though when she does.
She might. She absolutely might. But I can definitely see that moment where Kristen just goes, I can't support this. You are too crazy.
Shady Brook.
Yeah, like you're too far gone. Like I've seen Demira crazy, but Blake crazy? Oh my God.
Right.
Oh my God. No wonder my daughter has such troubles.
Yeah. And crazy Rachel, crazy Granny Rachel, she hates Stefano.
I mean, he's
She
an easy man
hates
to
his
hate,
dead
right?
soul, I tell you.
She's gonna burn the portrait. She's gonna tear it off the wall and burn it.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Let's do it. And then it resurrects Stefano, and we get like CGI Stefano.
So this is great. This is like dumb, right? So Rachel shoots the portrait
Right between the eyes. Just ping.
and it ricochets off the frame somehow
Okay.
and right into EJ.
Well, there we go. That's the Who Shot EJ story right there. EJ sets himself up to be shot in a safe place where he won't die. There's a ricochet bullet from Rachel Blake trying to take out the portrait of Stefano, and it just ricochets and hits EJ. There's Roman being like, you know what? I thought about it, and it's been a good 30 plus years since you boxcarred my daughter, and maybe it's time for some revenge.
I know, right? I know. Boy, this has all come up, hasn't it?
It has come up, and it's interesting because it's showing the progression of culture and acceptance over the last 30 years. Because I'm hearing this thing, he boxcarred my mother, all that sort of stuff. Boxcars are euphemism for that obvious thing that they were talking about because we don't want to trigger the YouTube censors.
Exactly.
Boxcarred my mother, all that sort of stuff. And it's a harsh word. That's a very harsh 4-letter word that has a very damaging connotation to it, life-altering, life-changing, life-destroying connotation.
Yep.
And then when they tell the story, it is coercion. It's not violent. It's coercive. It's wrong. It's evil.
Or like coercion, or and it's still that. But
Quid
like,
pro quo, if you, then I will. Transactional.
yes, or that person is so drunk they won't remember it.
Yeah, that sort of thing. Which 30 years ago was something that happened in life. And nowadays it's the big 4-letter word. And
Right.
it's so interesting to see the progression of American culture through the lens of soap operas by the stories that they're telling.
Oh, it
Because
is
this
definitely.
wouldn't, if outlook on coercion, such as EJ gave Sammy, stayed as it was, if it was just, sometimes these things are just transactional. She agreed. She didn't have to say yes. All of these, if those things had still stayed in play, which are not today, I'm not saying those things. That's not in play. Then it wouldn't even be a story right now.
Right.
It's just so
And
interesting to me.
it seems like with soap operas, they they never create that scenario as something new.
Hmm.
It's always referred to from a couple of decades ago when the
Later.
story was then.
Right, because back then it was coercion, it was manipulation, it was, well, this is my chance. You want to save your husband's life, you want to save the love of your life's life. Well, you got to give me a little something first.
Right.
Wow, just wow. Just
Yeah.
wow, wow.
And yeah. Oh my gosh.
Oh gosh,
And Johnny is absolutely broken about it.
he's very upset.
He smacked the shite out of his dad.
Yeah, he punched him. He
He
punched
punched him
him
good.
real good, real good.
Real good.
I don't think Johnny's gonna be the one to squeeze a trigger though.
I don't think so either.
No, no.
You know, Sammy is coming back to town.
Well, maybe Sammy's gonna do it. You know
Maybe.
what? You reminded me of this terrible thing that you did. Now I'll give it to Carson Boatman because he did it. He did it. I can't. In comparison to some of the big secrets revealed that we have watched over the last couple of weeks on that other hospital show, I can't say that I'm ready to give this man a statue, but he handled it. He took that content and he knew what he was doing with it. He asked the questions in the right way.
Yep.
I think that his scene with Kate at the end of the week was really good.
Oh, I thought it was too.
You know?
You know what? And we haven't seen Kate do that much
No.
in the year and a half we've been watching. That girl got some fire in her when she wants to.
She does. She does. And it's fun to see the long-term veteran characters that have been living in Salem this whole time know these things that went down and now have to speak to them. And so that's fun. That's fun. And I like seeing Roman have something to do as well, because as time goes on, I become more and more and more curious about Roman. Partially because he's played by Josh Taylor, and now I understand Josh Taylor a little bit more from olden days when he played old Chris, running shenanigans, dating Savannah Wilder. But now he's Roman, and it just makes me more curious, and I want to see him do more. I think that I'm also looking for a character to fill my John Black void.
Oh, I think you are too.
Absolutely. And I'll pick another old man. I'll just pick another old man. Might as well be the second John Black, Roman.
That's heating up because Marlena and Steve went to go see Sean.
So he's gonna Shane.
Sean's a cop at home. Belle's
Yes.
ex.
Yes. He's gonna go see Shane. I think he's gonna be on Monday, as early as Monday. I saw some articles. So get ready, folks. Get ready.
Yeah.
Come now, Marlena. If there was a big problem, I would have told you by now. You know I can't tell you these classified secrets. This is the ISA. It's national security.
I wonder how they're going to play this out.
I don't know, but I wanted Roman to go, and he's like, all right, I'm coming with you. I'm like, yes, take him with you. Come on, Days of Our Lives Avengers. Let's do this thing. Let's stick everybody in the jungle. I'm ready. Just a team of 9 characters looking for John Black.
I do think that she should be there with Steve, with Patch. She should be there with Patch.
See, it's funny. It's funny.
Because he was John's last partner.
He was John's last partner, absolutely. And I don't know how close they were before, because Roman and John were partners for a good time. Abe and John were partners for a good time, especially when John thought he was Roman. And then Steve had his good friend Jada's dad, Marcus, and they were good decades long, partners. And he also was really good friends with Bo as well by the end of it all, even though Bo took his eye.
Oh.
So I'm wondering that since they didn't have Marcus anymore, and they didn't have Bo anymore, and they didn't have, that John and Steve wound up being defaulted best good buddies.
It seems that way, huh?
I don't know, because I don't know what they did together in the 90s, if anything, or in the 2000s, if anything.
Yeah.
But regardless,
Well, I
yes,
certainly
Steve
don't know
absolutely
either.
should be involved. I think Roman should be involved. I think everybody over the age of 70 should be involved in this story. I want Maggie out there in, safari gear. She would rock.
Well, she
She would
probably
look
has
so
some.
good. She would look so good.
Well,
With that
safari gear
fiery
against the red hair
With
would
that
be
red
great.
hair, absolutely. She would look so great. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my God.
I don't think, of course, they're not going to find John,
Hmm.
but I do think they're going to find Bo with his peepers open.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, he already squeezed Hope's hand. It's just a matter of time. We just got to get there. We just got to get there.
Exactly.
Come on, Bo. Come on, Hope. We need you. I need
Hmm.
you. I need a John Black replacement, and I don't have one yet. As a matter of fact, we're losing more characters.
We are.
We
Huh.
are. We learned this week that Billy Flynn, who has played Chad DeMiro for the last 10 years on this show, is departing at some point. I don't know when,
Flying over the YNR.
but he's going over to Genoa City
He is.
to go join a business team over there on Young and the Restless. So what do you think, Ma? Are they going to is Wayne Northrup going to be the new Chad DeMiro?
Probably.
Wouldn't that be something?
Wouldn't that be great?
So here's the thing. I feel like the information that Wayne Northrup had been cast was let out a little earlier than Days of Our Lives would have preferred.
I think, yes, I agree with you. And I think the reason why it leaked out is because of the death of his father.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, yeah, for sure, for sure. So they cast him because they knew that Chad needed a new face. And Wayne Northrup apparently, like I didn't memorize his face, but from the chatter out there in social media land, it seems as though Wayne Northrup and Billy Flynn don't look too dissimilar from each other.
I don't think they do either. I have seen a still of him.
Mm-hmm.
He's very handsome guy, and looks more like Len than he does
Yeah,
his dad.
yeah. Lynn Herring.
Lynn
You know her
Herring,
as
you know,
Lucy
Coe.
Coe
Yeah,
on General Hospital.
he kind of favors her more, I think.
Oh my gosh! Oh gosh! Oh my gosh! The chat's been talking this whole time, Mama.
Well, they always talking without us all the time.
Oh goodness! Roman saying "damn it" over and over sounds like me when I want to say other words, says Jeannie.
I say let them fly, just say them.
Just let him fly, Jeannie. Just do it. Citra thinks that little Rachel will accidentally shoot EJ.
Well, boy, that will definitely upset CPS, won't it?
Yeah. So Rachel's off in intense psychotherapy right now.
Oh my goodness.
She didn't go see Grandma Marlena. She's been sent to the child loony bin for some intense therapy. We're gonna find out
Gonna
later
come
on.
back with a different face, isn't she?
She's 1,000% being Soros right now, or recast, or whatever. Because we knew we were getting a new Rachel at some point.
Yeah.
So yeah, she's totally coming back as the new actress. There's no reason to send her off to the mental house attic for so long
Right.
if we're not coming back with a new face. Give a chance for the audience to I don't know, forget about it or accept it.
I think Rachel. I think Rachel.
Rachel.
I think Kristen has bitten off a little more than she could chew when it comes to the care of her mother. I don't think she realized how bat dumb crazy.
I don't think she does either.
really is.
I think EJ definitely has a sense of it.
Yeah,
But it's going
she
to take a
does,
little
huh?
while. It's going to take a little bit for Krista, but it's her mom though. You know, you give your mom a lot of room.
Of course.
You know, if I found
course.
if for some reason, you know, we stopped doing this podcast and then I found out that you were living in the mansion on the corner secretly this entire time for 25 years or whatever, I think that I would probably be fairly concerned about your well-being going forward.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I think Kristen took her to the house because she wants to watch her more than anything. Mm-hmm. It certainly can't send her out
Oh,
back
Hank,
out to Aramid
yes,
to live with
sorry.
the spiders.
Chat correcting me. Hank Northrup, Wayne Northrup is the dad, of course. He's the one that's
Yes.
played Rowan.
Hank is the son.
Hank Northrup. Thank you very much, Michelle. Thank you. I'm glad to know that the broadcast is actually working.
It is working, huh?
You
can
know.
hear us and see us.
You can
That's
hear
good.
us, you can see us, you can react to what we're saying live in real time. If you're watching, you're not logged into YouTube, log in.
Exactly.
If
We'd
you're
like to hear
listening-
what you have to say.
If you're listening on the audio platform, thank you so much for that. But if you're free some Sunday morning, come hang out with us live here on YouTube.
It'd be good.
Citra
can't-
doesn't think that Sammy was actually in love with Lucas way back then. So they were telling the story. There's a big storm. Apparently, it gets very, very, very stormy in Salem.
It does.
We've seen
I mean,
it.
last year, we needed snow plows and everything.
Yeah, we had a radiated Pauline on a snowmobile. I remember.
did.
I remember. Oh God, Days of Our Lives is so fun. Anyway, so apparently,
weird.
apparently it gets very snowy, and it happened years ago on the conception night for Johnny. and his sister Allie. And there was a cave, the roof caved in, all sorts of crazy stuff.
Oh, all
and
kinds of things happened,
and
huh?
Johnny walks away from hearing that story saying, okay, so my sister was a product of love and I was a product of not love.
Right.
Which, that was a good job, Carson Boatman. That was a good moment that you played there. Like that was it was a soapy moment. You know how sometimes there's soap actors that are just heavy in the drama. It's not necessarily realistic, but it's soap correct.
Yes.
I think
It's
that
over the top soap correct.
yeah, and I think that's where Carson Boatman found himself in during that with those things. It makes me think of Jackson Montgomery. And just Walt Willie's style of "damn it, Erica, I just don't care." Like.
Yeah, actually, you're right. I didn't think about that, but you're actually right.
Yeah, I'm with it.
Yeah.
Matt loves seeing irradiated Paulina on a snowmobile. You're right, Laura. I do.
It was a shining moment, wasn't it?
It's what I want from Days of Our Lives. It truly, really is. I don't care about whether or not Chad and Kat get together as much as it would make her sister happy, Felicity. It's just I'm not there for that.
Felicity would like that, wouldn't she?
She would like it very much.
She reminded me of Matchmaker Molly back a few years ago.
Okay.
When the Molly was like 12.
Hospital. So I'm going to make sure everyone falls in love. Yeah, it reminded me of Full House. What it did. There was this one episode of Full House, everybody. Get ready for this reference. Little Michelle has a teacher she really likes that gets along with her dad, Danny Tanner. And so she sets them up for a little lunch date.
Yes.
But they don't recognize it as such. And about 5 minutes into it, she pops her head into the living room and asks, "Are you in love yet?"
Hey, I wonder how close are the Olsen twins' birthday to yours? Because when Full House came on TV, those babies were like they look like you, babe. As far as where they are in their toddlerhood, they look like you.
I am older than the Olsen twins by 2-3 months.
See, I knew it. You guys weren't very far apart.
They were born on June 13th, 1986. I'm April 29th, 1986. So now you can steal my identity and change my passwords. April 29th, folks, get ready. It's coming up. I'm going to be
It is coming up.
so old.
Well, yeah. What's your last birthday with it starts with a 3?
Yeah, we're gonna freeze at that one, I think. We're just gonna we don't need the over the hill party. As fun as my mom's was. All right. What are your thoughts on Joy lying to Stephanie and Alex that she isn't pregnant?
I wonder, what is her motive for lying? What's the motive for lying?
Yeah, separation,
I
embarrassment.
mean, the only
guilt.
motive I would say there would be for lying is because she doesn't plan to continue with the pregnancy, and she just doesn't want him to ever know.
Maybe.
That's the only reason why I could see why she should lie to him. Well, she shouldn't lie to him at all.
Right.
But would be the motivation to lie to him.
To make that choice.
Be,
I wonder because, we have a very, very, very centrally pregnant Sophia on the show right now. And not that having 2 pregnancies at one time is unheard of on a soap opera, but I'm wondering if they will go in a different direction with this one.
I believe the baby's due in the summer.
So
I think they said that on the show.
Another 4 months or so?
Yeah.
Okay. I really enjoyed actually Teresa kind of interrogating Tate. He's like, "So how much do you drink?" "None, Mom." "So you were stone cold sober when you made this stupid ass poor choice, huh? You just threw it at." Now he said something that was very interesting to me and made me wonder if there's more to this story than we figure. Because Tate, he says they were very safe. Now we also know that protection and such isn't 100%.
Right.
But is this truly one of those extremely rare occasions? Or is there more in play than we know?
Perhaps the baby is not a black.
Maybe he's a different color.
Yeah, maybe he's
Maybe
not
he's a
a black skin.
green.
Yes, maybe perhaps he is agreeing, huh?
Because
Maybe.
Chat kept on saying that Mark might have got in there
He might have.
before he was taken off to jail or whatever.
He might have.
But there's not Mark, the other one, his younger brother,
Mark. Yeah.
his
The
younger
high school
brother.
one.
Yes, the high school one. I don't remember his name.
Yeah. His name is
We're gonna call him Bobby for now.
his name, y'all. I want to say
Remember,
Jacob, but
Aaron. There we go. Thank you very much, Jeannie. Sorry,
Aaron. I knew it was
Aaron.
a two-syllable name. That's all I could remember.
It just goes to show how close we pay attention to the show that we podcast about.
You know what? You know what I'm finding though?
What's
What
that?
I'm finding is it's not that I don't remember, is I'm blending stories across the three stories we're watching.
Oh yeah, because there's a lot of soaps happening right. It's 15 hours of soap a week
It's
now.
15 hours
I don't
a
know
week
how
of soap
everybody
I'm
will.
watching right now. And so right now I'm kind of like, oh, no, that's on the other show. No, that happened,
Can you
I'm
imagine?
blending all my stories.
Can you imagine how the people who grew up in the 80s and 90s or were, in their adult lives in the 80s or 90s watching 8 soaps a day,
Right,
3 VCRs going,
right.
taking in their stories like mad, and also able to keep the individual histories separate?
Yeah, it would be difficult, but if you're not podcasting, it doesn't matter. Right?
I mean, for the most part, like
Well, you're not going to try to be up on Sunday morning making some damn sense.
No. Well, no. Jeannie goes, "Yep, that was me." Yeah, and the ability to keep it all straight, because I don't even know how I'm able to squeak through enough watching of it to be able to talk about it. So, kudos to everybody else that was able to make it a core part of their lives and keep it all straight.
And keep it all straight.
Now, I feel like I'd be able to have separated. No, and see, here's the thing, because General Hospital used to be very action oriented.
It was.
So 80s days and 80s GH were very, very similar to each other when it comes to action, adventure, secret spies, supervillains, that sort of thing. So who knows if
Yeah.
I would have been able to keep those two shows straight years later and remember that it was Bo that took Steve Johnson's eye and not Luke that took Stefan's,
Right.
9 soaps, Jeannie says. She was watching 9 soaps in the heyday. Hello,
That's a
Queen
lot.
of the South. Laura understands your overlap. So you have some sympathy out there.
Yeah. Well, I did watch 4 soaps for a little while. I just sold something. My phone just went ching.
Cha-ching! Well, thank you very much, chat, for buying something from my mom's Poshmark store.
Oh my gosh.
We'd leave a link, but Chandra's not at this show.
That's what it is.
I think when you start watching as a child, as many of us did, you just keep up with it. I can understand that, Jeannie, because I'm able to watch a lot of Days of Our Lives in General Hospital from one eye, and just kind of come in and then focus on like a work task, and then kind of come back to a conversation or something, and still be able to keep up with what it is that's going on, why it is they're talking about these things, that sort of stuff. With Beyond the Gates, that's really hard to. I can't only half watch that show because there's not enough context historically for me to lean on to be able to piece
Yes.
together what might be happening at this point in the story. So
Yeah, it's
that's
not predictable yet.
right, and so or even enough. I don't even have enough information about the characters or really what's going on for me to be able to half listen to a conversation on Beyond the Gates between like that whole Ruth thing, for example. Intense. But there is no chance in hell that I would have been able to walk away from that scene truly understanding what it all means in the grand scheme of Beyond the Gates if I didn't pay attention to it.
Right.
And I'm afforded half attention sometimes with the other shows.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh. And maybe that's why I don't remember anything. Perhaps Jeannie was sitting there watching with full attention 6 soaps every day.
Perhaps she was.
I watched with full attention lots of Star Trek when I was in my youth.
You sure did.
I remember a lot of
But
it.
I know you did.
I remember, and I am able to keep those storylines separate from what Captain Picard did and what Captain Sisko did.
Well, that's because you really paid
I
attention.
paid attention, folks. I paid attention. And honestly, because of my love for Star Trek, that's why I'm able to turbo through Beyond the Gates Because I don't have commercials on my Paramount app because commercials during Star Trek is bupkis.
It is.
So boom, there we go, folks. Anyway, back to Days of Our Lives. Belle is so compromised. Is she usually
Belle is
like
so
this?
man, oh man. You know,
I thought Belle
I
was a
don't
sweetheart.
understand Belle really.
I thought she was a sweetheart. I guess she's not.
I think man, she really got clouded judgment. And she's such a smart thing. She always seems to be so smart as well. But at the same time, personally, she's not all that smart.
I don't understand what the draw is to EJ. I understand that he's a smexy man.
He ain't that smexy.
But he's not that smexy, right? Not I'm going to compromise my entire life in order to hop in this bed with you because I just can't resist kind of smexy.
He ain't Alex sexy.
You know, I mean, even then.
He ain't Brady sexy.
I mean, even maybe I just have far more self-control than the average human being in this realm because I'm not sure even either one of them would make me throw my entire life away. Or...
I don't, well, she doesn't, I don't know. She gets so, all he has to do is kind of like look at her. And she's like, I don't know. I don't get it.
Laura says,
but maybe Belle's done with him now. She got really mad this week. Maybe Belle is done.
She got really mad at herself.
She did.
And then
but she's like, now I'm going to prosecute him to the full extent of the law.
Yeah, but then also like 20 minutes earlier, she called him her boyfriend. So like,
I know.
She goes back and forth so much.
Oh my God.
She just can't make a decision. And her mom's about to leave town.
Yeah, her mom's,
And her mom's the only person that's being like, hey, look at me, Belle. You're being stupid.
Yeah, actually, Marlena talks to her pretty good. You know, she does. She lets her know really how she feels without being too nasty about it, you know?
I mean, I guess that's part of the joy of having a psychotherapist as a mother.
I guess so, huh?
Like at a certain point, when you're like 13, right, and you understand exactly what your mom does for a living, like she makes the brain think things. Do you start to wonder, have I been manipulated my whole life to think a particular way? Has my mother programmed me through therapy tools and manipulations?
We all do that. Whether you're a psychologist, psychiatrist, or just a mind reader.
You tried to make your children think in a particular way?
Yeah.
Oh my God. What a revelation.
What a revelation.
Oh my gosh. Oh, no wonder I see the world so much similar than my parents do, for the most part. For the most part, they're kind of old. They got a little, sometimes every once in a while they'll have an opinion out there that's ancient. Just an ancient opinion.
Especially your dad.
I'm kidding. They're great people. They're wonderful people. Worldly minded, all that. Marlena knows how rotten EJ can be.
Well, yeah, I think she does. I think that actually some of the, like someone like Belle maybe doesn't really remember all of his shenanigans because she's younger than him. Yeah. Doesn't know about all his shenanigans. Where Marlena and Maggie, these folks, they've been watching him do stuff his whole life.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know that EJ and Belle are all that different in age. I don't know that. They might be. I don't know.
I think he's more Sammy's age.
I guess that would be like a good 5 to 8 years.
Yeah.
Older.
Like Belle is the baby sister of Sammy.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Everyone tells me that she tried to sell her when she was a baby.
Oh, yes, that is something that we cannot forget. She's like, I don't want this little girl.
Right.
This attention-stealing person. I'm Kirsten Storms, and I'm going to sell this baby.
Yeah, I wonder, back then, maybe you guys remember, well, Jeannie, you probably remember, did she try to sell her baby brother too? Or she just wanted to get rid of one of the twins? Was she wanted to keep the baby brother and get rid of the sister because she figured that's the only daughter that Marlena needed?
Well, I mean, hang on. Is Belle a twin, or does she have a single? Is she single?
I thought Belle was a twin.
Belle and Eric? Are they twins?
Yes. Belle and Eric are twins.
What's with the twins? How come there's so many twins on the show?
I know. There's something in the water in Salem. I get 2 eggs.
I get that there's a lot of twins in soap operas, but usually it's because it's we've rehired this actor type of twin. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Usually they find out there's a twin, that there wasn't one from the birth, but
Right.
they find out there was one.
Right. And on this
That's
show, we
usually
got
how it goes.
well, no, Eric and Sammy are twins, right? And then Belle and nobody. See, we don't know Days of Our Lives. Okay, Eric and Sammy are twins. Okay, yes.
Oh, maybe we don't know.
So then Belle might be a single, and then Brady is a single as well. But
Yeah.
I just don't know because we didn't watch the show then.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe Belle was just a single birth and I just decided she was a twin as well.
Belle's a single. It was her Sammy tried to sell. Okay, so Sammy tried to sell Belle, but Belle was just by herself. So I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know when Brady came around. I don't know if that was before or after, or if he was some sort of teenage revelation, which I don't think he was. I think we saw his birth before Isabella passed away. We, folks, need you to continue to watch this show, this podcast show, and participate in the chat so we don't sound like idiots.
Because our professor up and quit.
Because she decided she wanted to go talk to Tony on www.pettyprattle.com on the Dirty Talk podcast, Flipping the Hourglass, which you can find weekly on pettyprattle.com. She decided to do that rather than guide our dumb minds toward the truth. Belle was the product of an affair, though. Okay, there we go. Now it's starting to all make sense. Thank you very much, Laura. So, back in the day, Roman was actually alive.
Yes.
And he came back to town, and he's like, I'm Roman Brady. I don't know who this person is, but he needs to leave my life.
Yes.
And he's like, well, I guess I'm John Black again, because that's the name I read on that plaque that one day. So I'm John Black now. Let me go live in an apartment somewhere far away from all of this.
Far away.
I don't know what it's like. I actually want to see. I want to see Roman come back and the effect that it had on John Black. I haven't seen it yet. I'd like to, though. Marlena and John can't stay apart from each other because they fell deeply in love during this time.
They did. Yes.
Far more deeply than Marlena had for Roman, I guess.
It seemed like it.
And they just couldn't keep their hands off of each other.
Yep.
And
They could not resist their destined love.
No. I remember seeing a scene of them in a car together. I think it was a car driving in a storm. It was tense because of the love. She was so torn between her heart for John and her responsibility to Roman.
Oh.
And John said, Marlena, if it was up to me, I'd make love to you right now. Right here, right now. I would do it. I have so
Right here, right now.
so much passion. And I think they wound up just doing it.
Probably,
And
huh?
lo and behold, here comes a Belle, and Sammy's like, oh my god, you cheated on my dad. Now I'm going to be evil. And then Sammy was evil after that. And then she was evil Sammy.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Sammy, I think EJ may meet his match when it comes to the... Yeah, I think Sammy's it.
Matt, you're so mean promoting Angela's shows. You're right. I shouldn't do that. Oh, God. Remember when Marlena was EJ's mother-in-law? Asks Michelle. I guess that would make Marlena particularly invested in making sure that Belle doesn't make this choice again.
Yeah.
Or at least Sammy.
Marlena can't stand EJ. You know, Marlena's one of the people in town that would give you a chance, you know?
Yeah, but
She'll give you a chance, and she can't stand him. She don't think he has any redeeming values at all, and she thinks their daughter's being an idiot.
Well, I mean, this is the man that coerced her daughter into an event that led to the birth of Johnny.
Yeah.
You know? See, it's a Stefano move, man. It really is. Stefano did that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
That's why EJ even exists, is because he found like a Kristen lookalike or something, and it was all a part of the plot. A part of the plot. Susan Banks, by the way. I think her name is Banks. Is it Banks?
Yes, it is.
Susan. Yes.
EJ's mama.
See, I was Christian for a minute, but then I put my glasses back on and I started talking like me again. Me. Ding.
I want, you know what? Maybe they ought to bring her back because she can set EJ right. You know what? EJ don't act out too much when his mother's there.
I remember talking to Dan about that a little bit, like not in that exact context, but when we did the Days event forever ago now, I wish I had the video to show y'all because it was super fun. Anyway, talk to him about what it's kind of like being EJ, where on one side he's super evil, and on the other side he has these goofy moments that he plays up with Susan, because Susan had been on recently, and he
Right.
goes and he answered that remembering that he is the son of Susan Banks is something that he tries to incorporate into his performances, where yes, he is the kid of Stefano and he is the evil Demira, the most evil Demira right now,
Yeah, he is.
but he also has that genetic the genetic imprint of ridiculous, of over the top, of goofy, which is where he makes the decisions of, like, when he gets angry at somebody, he kind of does this wide-eyed swell.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if y'all know what I'm talking about, but it's like he almost grows 2 inches when he gets angry at somebody and his eyes get all wide.
Yes.
And I'm not necessarily getting, oh my God, he's gonna beat my booty.
And he gets this vein thing in his forehead
Right,
too.
right. And but what I get from those moments isn't, oh my God, he's about to beat my butt. It's just like this peacocking.
Right?
You know?
It's a show, huh?
Right. It's just over the top, exaggerated show, which comes from being the child of Susan. Mm-hmm. So I just,
You think like a director, Matt.
well, maybe one day Fido and I were just gonna live in the same house together and direct TV together.
Maybe.
I've already got a Spielberg hat. Hello, Ron. Ron Julian thinks that Belle needs to go have her head examined. She just needs to talk to her mom a little bit more. Can you imagine, like, hanging out with Marlena, right? And then Marlena slowly just sits on the couch, and then you feel this sense of calm, and then you sit on the couch as well. And then you just start talking, and then she asks the right questions, and you begin admitting your deepest truths, and then you begin to heal. And it's all because Marlena sat down gently.
Yeah, she does have a calming spirit in that office, doesn't she?
She's got a calming spirit about everything.
She does.
There really is
She
something.
does.
There's something special about Marlena Evans, and there was something special about John and Marlena. It really, really, really was. If you go back and look at those clips, oh goodness gracious, the love.
Yes.
Even in their old age, like the stuff that they did, at the end of what Drake Hogestyn was available for, and just their goofy little "I love you" scenes that they have. Oh gosh, there's just something special about them. Nobody captured that same chemistry.
It don't seem like
Super
it.
couple galore.
Super couple galore.
It's
Yes.
the epitome of super couple, and it's hard for me to even think of like a recent pairing of younger actors that even come close to the chemistry of
I
Drake
don't think so
Hogestyn
either.
and John and Marlene.
Maybe a little bit on the other show with Spencer and Trina, maybe.
I don't even know if I got like up epic proportions. They just were fine.
Yeah.
That's for me. Just for me. You have your own opinion out there, but it's hard pressed. Like I enjoy Spixie over on that other show, but it's not the same level of
No,
chemistry
it's
that
not
we've
the
gotten
same.
from John and Marlene.
You know what I know? You know what I realized this week? One of those characters on the days? Being tied to a bed and tortured will not make you a better person.
It will not. Indeed, it will not. It will still have you purchase known stolen goods. As a lawyer who knows that being in possession of known stolen goods is also a crime.
Right.
To a point where Holly's like, oh, by the way, we're just going to get her on the fact that she knows that this is stolen. So if we just take it back, what's she going to do? Report that her stolen property was stolen? Like, Holly, that was good. I like you
was
for
pretty
that,
good.
Holly.
That was
I
pretty
like
smart.
you for that. Holly,
That's pretty
Doug,
smart.
Holly, I enjoy them. And then Tate and Sophia, they might not raise this kid, but they're totally going to run off in the sunset together at some point. Especially after this week, them just having a closer, more truthful conversation with each other than they can with their mother or with Holly
Yes.
just shows the bond.
Yes.
And I like Sophia so much that I'm okay with it.
Yeah?
I really do enjoy her. I do. When Tate showed up and he was talking about having trouble with Holly or whatever, like she had her back to him and was kind of like facing camera direction. And the looks on her face that passed by of just kind of like the nerve, the hope, the interest, the whatever it is that you want to read off of the face was really good. I think she's got a lot of talent. I do.
You like this new Sophia more than the old one.
I don't know, Jacarius. Do you think you're late? You let me know.
Well, Jacarius, you are 15 minutes less late than you think because we started late.
I don't know about 15 minutes.
I think it was.
Oh, no. I guess it was. I don't know. My little ticker's at 45 minutes and it's 9:50, so you're about right. What can I say? We just can't start on time. We don't want to start on time.
Yep.
If we wanted to start on time, I guess we would. It's one of those things where, like, you know how in your life you can be like, well, I want these things, and this is what I want my life to be. And then you take absolutely you make no changes, you make no effort
I
to
know
manifest.
the exact reason. I know the exact reason why we're late all the time.
Because we're talking about nonsense.
Because we don't log in at 8:45, we log in right at 9, and then we have our little couple of minutes of jibber jabber of a son and mom, and then dang, we better push the button. That's what happens.
I log in usually at least 60 seconds before you do. Okay, so let's get that clear.
60 seconds, huh?
At least.
How come I always see waiting for host?
You don't always see that. Do you always see that?
Almost always, yes.
Oh, really? I didn't know that. Because I put in and then it takes a second and then boom, here's my mom. And so I thought that I was just always earlier than you.
No.
Wow, look at me. Look at me. Well, Jacarius wants to know what we think about Johnny punching EJ. We talked about it a little bit and he smacked the hell out of his dad.
I liked it. You know what it was like, okay, Johnny is quite a bit shorter than EJ.
Yes.
And he had to like self-profile kind of.
Yeah, almost kind of like
really,
Mario.
Like, smack the hell
You know
out
how
of him.
Mario jumped, you know?
Yeah, it was exactly. It was like a Mario jumping.
Yeah, he had to do it. Wrestling fans out there would know this as the Superman punch from Roman Reigns, where he just has to launch himself across the ring before he just clobbers you.
Jacarius, I loved it.
Yeah.
But you know me, though. I love a good smack. I'm
Love
always
hit him again. Oh,
Hit him
he's
again.
down.
I'm always hit him again.
He's down, Johnny. Kick him in the ribs. He deserves it.
I honestly, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it's because we see more of it, actually. I think you see more violence with women. Women on women, typically. Slapping each other or something. I think you see more actual physicality that way between female characters. You don't see guys hit each other as often.
I can tell you that.
And girls usually slap and guys usually punch.
I can tell you that the amount of guns are really high on the show Days of Our Lives. Everybody's got a gun. Everybody pulls it out on their enemy.
That's true. Did you notice? I was kind of surprised to say because this is not EJ typically. EJ had a moment of clarity where he actually put the syringe back in the safe.
Yes, he did put it back in the safe. It was an extended moment.
Yeah, he had that thing out, and then Johnny came and smacked him and all that stuff, and he had it in his back pocket. And he actually had a moment of conscience and put it back.
Who's he trying? What's he trying to do, Ma? Is he trying?
He was gonna shoot old lady, crazy granny with it, where she could forget things.
The memory juice. No, but my question, I should have asked it more explicitly. What is it? He said he's going to make all of their problems go away.
Yeah.
And all of their problems isn't just Rachel Blake.
No.
There's also the Choi problem.
Yeah.
And
I don't think he really meant all the problems.
No, he didn't mean all the problems.
No.
You don't think he's like coming up with some sort of like super scheme? No. Maybe. I don't know. I wouldn't put it past him. He could have the plans to the super scheme right there behind the Stefano portrait. I got to give it to Johnny, the writing for Johnny, and also for Carson Boatman, because he comes in on Thursdays talking to his dad. He's like, so I overheard you talking to the portrait. And we only talk to the portrait when we're trying to justify something that we did that was bad, or we're about to do something that's bad. So what's going on, Dad? You were talking to Stefano.
Mm-hmm. Right?
Good stuff.
We don't
Good, good,
pretend to
good
dead
stuff.
people when we feel guilty
Well,
about something.
listen. There's only two reasons people ever talk to that portrait, all right? I'm a Demira. I know I live in this house.
Mm-hmm.
I understand. I talked to that portrait, all right? When I was doing that whole thing with Joy, okay? I talked to that portrait.
I don't know. I don't know. Johnny smacking him was good though.
It was.
Johnny
It was.
smacking him
We like
was
some soap
good.
violence here on Days for Dummies. So continue to bring it, Days of Our Lives. Whether it's with a pistol or a fist or
Well,
a
you know they
katana
have
sword.
to. But one thing EJ has to remember though, the memory juice really, we have learned, is not all that effective. It's
No.
effective for a short amount of time.
Right. It's enough time to like get to do something, but
Yeah,
not
it would
enough.
be enough time to take Granny and put her somewhere. And then by the time the juice was wearing out and she was kind of like Rafe and starting to remember things, well, she'd already be locked up and crazy anyway.
Well, and then also though, like the love of Jada and all that prompted a lot of the
Yes.
like loving Jada really broke through a lot of that serum very quickly.
Well, yes, it did. It did. Loving Jada really broke through the serum. And I think hating EJ and hating Ava might break through the serum for old lady Granny.
Strong enough for her too. All right, I'm with it. I'm with it. I'm not here to argue. I'm not. I'm here for fun. That's what I'm here for. I'm here for a good time. I'm here for soapy nonsense. That's what I'm looking forward to. Okay.
So I saw on the preview,
Yeah.
where Julie is going to see Melinda with her necklace on next week, right there in the Holy Square.
Melinda, you stupid fool. Gosh.
Is she? Well, this is what doesn't. Okay, this does not make any sense. But of course, it's for story, so they have to do it this way. It does not make sense. If you have bought stolen merchandise and you know it's stolen, and now you actually know it's Julie's, what you gonna be wearing that in
Why are
Square
you still?
for?
It's in Julie's Square.
In Julie Square, in Horton
Julie's
Square.
Square. All right.
Yes.
Julie.
You're gonna wear her grandma's necklace in
Julie
front
is
of
the
her.
top Horton. You know what I found out about Julie and Doug?
What's that?
Because I was doing some research on the history of soap operas. Because I was curious. I'm like, oh, what's the goofy early days story? What's this? What's that? What was the first time a soap did this? I learned that Guiding Light, mother, and this is leading into my point about Julie. I promise. Guiding Light, being the first soap, started most of the soap tropes.
Oh, okay.
So they get credit for the first Amnesia and the first Back from the Dead and the first this, that, and the other thing as the show continued to become the foundation for the soap opera format throughout the years of radio play and such. It started off, My Guiding Light, as a morality tale. Little 15,
Morality tale.
yes, little 15-minute stories of somebody going to their priest to get their guiding light for their personal dramas in their life.
Oh my.
I found out my husband was having an affair. Well, this is what you do, darling.
Yeah. Kind of like confessional.
Kind of, sort of. I mean, I didn't hear them, and a lot of that stuff isn't available anymore. But that was the idea, is like the central character was this priest, and he was the guiding light to the people in town who would come to him with their problems. And they were dramatic, domestic, what do I do in my daily life problems. And then also remember to buy Procter & Gamble soaps. You know?
Right. Yeah.
So that's really interesting, and that kind of led me into what was the first, who did this, what was the first question. So I went into, soap operas started off apparently as morality tales from a priest, and now we have rocking and rolling in bed, Belle and EJ.
Right.
You know, and so my question was, who was the first? What show was the first? What couple was the first? When did this happen? And the answer I got was Doug and Julie.
Really?
Apparently Doug and Julie in their youth were known for pushing the boundaries when it comes to depicting love together on daytime.
Oh, that was probably, since they were a couple, probably just a freaking turn on for them.
Maybe. So I don't know if the audience can corroborate that or let me know if they have particularly fond or strong memories of Doug and Julie and their intense romance over the decades. But
He's like, "Ooh, boy, part 2 when we get home, babe."
But according to the research that I did, at the very least, Take it for what it's worth. Doug and Julie, apparently, were well known back in the 70s.
Oh boy! Well, you remember they were on the cover of Life magazine.
They were.
That's amazing. Like one of the very first super couples.
Oh, if not the first. Because you have to remember, Doug and Julie, they predate John and Marlena. They predate Marlena and Roman. They predate Tad and Dixie. They predate Carly and Sonny. They predate Bo and Hope. They predate everybody.
They do.
Yeah. Jeannie didn't watch it. Jeannie didn't watch it back then, so she can't say. But that makes sense. She was like 5. You know?
Yeah.
Sandra's handling the storms and the 60-mile-per-hour wind to come hang out with us today, so thank you very much, Sandra.
Wow. It's windy over there.
Yeah. Michelle was too young to watch. It looks like you know, we don't have our golden 95-year-olds in the chat that might remember that stuff.
Yeah. And you know what? If you live to be 95, chances are you wouldn't remember.
Well, unless it really left an impact on you.
Yeah.
Did you see that Ron is now writing for Beyond the Gates? Yes, he is a script writer for Beyond the Gates. He doesn't hold decision-making power, but he's there to put words in the characters' mouths.
Yep.
Carson Boatman, Jakaria says, Cartman Bosun is going to knock it out of the park with these scenes. So he already has, and he's going to continue to do so as time goes by.
I agree. What did you think about? I was surprised when Paulina went to go meet Mrs. Choi.
Mm-hmm.
I was surprised that it went as well as it did, because I thought Paulina would just mess it up. But she kind of did.
No, Paulina can hold it together, especially when you're standing next to, comparing to someone like EJ. Mm-hmm. I mean, Paulina's the mayor and the mother of this potential mother to the baby. Like, this could be the mayor is the grandmother? What status? Oh, how interesting. Mm-hmm. But I must keep that EJ away from this whole situation, though, because clearly he's the bad one. Which adds Mrs. Choi now to our list.
Mrs. Choi has not had a deep conversation with Aunt Kristen yet, though.
Not yet. Mrs. Choi added to the list of suspects who might want to take EJ out.
I tell you, every day they're showing us that, oh my gosh, it's going to be eeny, meeny, miny, mo when EJ gets shot.
It really is. And we're not going to know for at least 2 months.
It's going to be like that.
And we find out that it was Bo with a sniper rifle from across the town. Sandra says that Doug and Julie were the original super couple, and they were definitely the couple that changed soap operas.
Wow. They invented love in the afternoon.
They invented love in the afternoon. we got to give that to Doug and Julie. Who knew? Like, it's so interesting because Days of Our Lives stayed under my radar for so long. I knew it existed.
Sure.
Everybody knew that Days of Our Lives existed. But
I think if you've never watched an episode, you still know what Bo and Hope are from.
Yeah, you know, like I know the hair of Bo Brady from the 80s. Everybody knows Bo Brady's hair from the 80s. He was the dude with the big hair, Bo from Soaps. Everybody knows that.
Yeah, he had great hair and a nice beard.
It's just sometimes a shocking reminder that growing up on ABC, All My Children, General Hospital, One Life to Live, great soaps, great memories, but not necessarily the ones that were the most groundbreaking or pushed the genre forward.
Not really, huh?
No, that apparently that belongs a lot to Days of Our Lives.
Belongs to NBC, it seems.
NBC a lot, yeah, because they had Guiding Light as well, NBC, you know, As the World Turns, all that sort of stuff. Passions.
Yeah.
Passions had trans characters.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, they were...
And that was a while ago, too.
I mean, it was a crazy villain who was doing all sorts of seedy things when it comes to pretending to be a dude and a chick and in the romance involved, and it was not a good depiction. But it was there.
I wonder, was that the influence for... Remember the movie Tootsie?
I think Tootsie came before Passions.
Yeah?
But definitely came before Passions.
That's true, huh? Tootsie was like, yeah.
But the popularity of soap operas is what brought it to Tootsie. And even to a point where they were doing a live broadcast of the soap opera in that movie, and it was normal.
Yeah.
You know, like he had the big breakdown. He's like, I'm really a man, like because it was broadcast live, and they
Mm-hmm.
couldn't edit around it. And then he got to keep the job where he was. Just what a move. Maybe one day, Ma, we'll do some Tootsie clips.
Maybe.
Maybe. Who knows? Who knows? No, not my Bo. What do you mean, Michelle? What about Bo? I was complimentary of Bo. Wasn't we? We didn't say nothing trashy about Bo, did we?
No.
I don't think so. I don't think so. So I'm
He's so
excited.
handsome.
He is very handsome, man. Even today,
Very
you
handsome.
know, he's still
And
fairly
like
handsome.
Drake was handsome after, when he became older. He's handsome after he let his hair go gray. And it seems like a lot of the actors on the soaps did the transition to gray during the pandemic.
Might as well. Might as well.
I almost did.
I had no choice.
Yeah.
Life just transitioned for me. And my last note, the only thing we haven't talked about that's on my list here is Leo and Javi. Are they just gonna
I
live with
like
it?
Leo and Bobby now.
Oh, they're
I
fine.
do.
They're cute. I mean, it's mostly the Javi side of things. So they're just gonna live in the Hernandez house?
I know. And I found that to be weird too. I found it weird that that he invited him without speaking to his cousins about it first. You can't say, "Hey, yeah, come to live with us," and not clue in the rest of the house.
Yeah, like
Hey,
shouldn't
yeah,
you tell Rafa and Gabby,
right,
Rafa and Gabriela
right.
that what's going on? You know,
Yeah,
your
and
cousins.
they're not crazy about Leo either. Well, nobody in town is super crazy about Leo.
It's like they all talk. I mean, Marlena likes him. They watch Drag Race together now.
Yes, they do.
You know, because you can also watch that on Paramount Plus,
Exactly. They're not stupid.
or
Like
excuse
that.
me, Peacock or whatever. I don't know what channel it's on. Don't ask me. I don't. I didn't. I'm not watching Drag Race this season.
No, you don't have any time.
I don't have any time. I barely have time for this.
I know it.
The girl it was playing Nicole on Beyond the Gates. Oh, really? Interesting. Hey, look at that. So the reference that I made about Passion Story about basically they had an actor and an actress playing the same character,
Oh,
and like they would go back and forth between, well, I'm this person now, and no, I'm Victor, I'm Victoria, type of thing.
uh-huh.
And it was two actors who were playing, and both actors kind of didn't know at the beginning, and then they put it together through the things that they were filming. I think this is how it goes. Tell me if I'm wrong. And then they kind of put it together. Oh shoot, we're kind of playing the same person, and they realize it, and so they start playing it, and finally it's real. Yes, they're actually the same person, and he's a dude. He's also a chick, and da 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 da. And it gets to a point in which he just seduces a person, and I think they do that. I don't even want, because I could be wrong, so I don't even want to lie. I don't want to tell a false story about a show I didn't watch. But it got intense to a point in which Portia was involved in it, from General Hospital, Brooke Kerr, where
Oh, Booker, yeah.
she walks in on her man getting frisky with someone who ain't a lady.
Oh, wow.
And she's like, "Oh my God." And he's like, "I don't know." And then it was just a big old thing
Oh, boy.
because he wasn't he was she at the moment. And then while they started getting it on, I think that they might have transitioned the actor that was playing the moment. And when Brooke Kerr walked in, I could be wrong.
Boy, oh, boy.
Jeannie says it was the fall of passions. Well, if anybody knows, it's
That's
Jeannie.
funny.
If anybody knows, it's Jeannie. Oh gosh.
Yep, that would be
Oh
true.
my God. And Michelle is certain that Bo would never shoot EJ. I don't know about that.
I don't know.
I don't know Bo as a 60-year-old. Because I would say he's on par, almost. Maybe a little older than you, Ma.
Yeah.
I don't know how he is at that age, but I do know Bo from olden days, 1985, and that man would have shot EJ every Tuesday. So,
Well, you know what? We could just take EJ off. We could take Bo off the list of possible shooters. We could take him completely off the list and still have a quite long list.
it's a town long. It really is. It's
It
the
is a
town
town
roster.
You could take that list and wrap it around the town square. You know,
I think it should be Crazy Nurse Connie. We're
I
gonna
like that.
No, we're gonna blend the characters. So what's gonna happen is Connie, she's gonna learn how to be a nurse from Whitley, and then Connie is going to become crazy nurse Connie,
Oh.
and then she takes out
We
EJ.
tease, we tease Julie all the time saying, "You're back on days and you can't even tell us, huh?"
We did mention that during
Because
our
her
during our
film's so
super
far
chat.
ahead.
We mentioned that during the super chat with her and Fido. You guys can check
Yeah.
that out. Our totally happening and far away soap party that we had, uh, where we say, I mean, because they're so far ahead, they're filming Christmas right now.
I heard. That's crazy.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So they're
They
filming
got
Christmas
on
right now.
Halloween and Thanksgiving
And,
already.
and so on the totally happening and far away soap party, we said, Julie could have filmed 2 entire arcs by now and just can't tell us.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh. Sandra goes, yes, it's the longest list ever, except for maybe Stefano. You don't know what that portrait can do, Sandra. Listen, those kind of special effects are cheap and easy now, okay?
Now, perhaps the list can't wrap around the entire square, but it could definitely wrap around the gazebo.
It might flow from the door to the gate of the Demira property. And, I mean,
They could cut it into pieces and use it as streamer.
we're not even thinking of like the outliers when it comes to suspects, like Mr. Shin. Maybe he needs to take EJ out to remove a Demira vote.
Oh my gosh.
Maybe
Yeah.
Philip is gonna be like, you know what? It's gonna be a lot easier if I just shoot this man. And then he,
We don't want
and then
all
and then
that.
and then he looks at the camera like this. My God, my last hanging out, Alex and Xander and Philip all hanging out together, right?
Yes, I love
Clinking
it.
drinks and we're gonna be in business together, but first let's take
Yes.
half a day off. Total rich people.
Oh, wait till Xander Xander's gonna flip out.
But ever since you mentioned the looks of Philip Kyriakis, I can't stop staring at this man's face and watching him react to things in the background where, like, Cassandra will be talking to Alex and he'll say something that Philip might not necessarily totally agree with, but he's still on board. And he will do like this kind of like wide-eyed side
Yes.
eye
Yes.
where he kind of leans
He's
his head
always
back.
got some
He's got
face.
some sort of weird, goofy looking face on. And it's
And
just,
I love it when especially like, it seems like he always has goofy faces when he's talking to his mom, Kate. That's when the goofy faces really come out.
where does that come from? What influence is that? Was it Kate's goofy brother who just taught Philip how to have just the stupidest face? And I say stupid not to be offensive, but to have fun with it, because that's what it is. It's a joy. It's a joy watching him on the
It is.
screen. It really is. Because it's different. When it comes to like a dude on a soap, you can get really cookie cutter. And really hard to distinguish one dude from the other. And so to have something that stands out, even if it's a performance choice like that, always good. 2 thumbs up. 2 thumbs up. What's the guy's name in real life?
Oh,
Paul Lavassier? Lavassier?
yes.
Yes. Sandra says, so true about the Philip character. And Michelle says, LOL, Matt.
Yeah, but Xander's going to be so mad when Xander finds out about all this, finds out about Philip not being a Kyriakis
Oh.
at all,
Oh, wait.
and when
at
he
all?
finds out that Sarah's known about this, oh my gosh,
Well,
Xander is going to be bad Xander again.
it is going to be kind of fun. Because, he might be bad Xander again, or maybe he's going to be good Xander, who's just really wounded. Because I just need what I want, because I like him so much, Paul Telfer. Come on to the show. It's just, I want him to be like, Sarah, I knew that Philip would do something like this. I just knew it. But to be betrayed by you is something
Yes.
that I didn't ever think would happen. Like, I want that. I want that. Give it to me.
Right.
Give it to me. That way also so I can do more Xander impressions, because I think I'm really I'm getting there with it. I'm getting there
You
with
are.
it, folks. I'm getting there.
You are.
Philip is Victor's son, just not on the will, reminds us, says Jeannie.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yes, and what Philip says about if he, Philip was saying about the reason why he wasn't on the will is because he was mentally ill at the time, and he wouldn't be a good choice. But he feels like if his father would have survived long enough to see him better, he would have been in the will,
We
and
got
he
to find the
probably would have split
codicil.
it.
That's what we're looking
Yeah,
for, the codicil. We need to find the codicil to the will that puts me back in. Take a look at Victor's old study. Let's dig through it for the codicil.
maybe EJ has it in the safe, completely separate, but who knows?
We need a cop in a wheelchair to wheel right in there and look for the codicil. Nobody will expect the cop in the wheelchair.
Mm-hmm.
It's a General Hospital story, everybody. For anybody
Kate
that's
should be mad
forgotten.
about all that too.
About being. Oh, I mean, isn't this because her kid was written out of the will? Like that's her whole inspiration. Is well, we're gonna go take
Yes,
what's rightfully ours, Philip.
but when it all comes out, she's gonna be mad
I
and
told
she's
you.
gonna be in trouble.
I told you not to move in with the curiosities. I
Exactly.
told you were gonna mess us up. Yeah, yeah. Maybe Bo has the codicil, says Sandra. That's what he's just in bed. He's clutching. He's been clutching a piece of paper the whole time, and nobody's noticed because why would you look inside the fist? He's in a coma. But one day somebody does. They see a little something sticking out of his finger. They open up his hand. What's there? The torn off bottom of Victor's will that says, "I also leave money to Bo and Philip, my other kids." Because as it stands right now, it does make very little sense that Xander, the secret son this whole time, not really my nephew but my son, wound up with the entire fortune.
Right.
Because Bo's got kids,
He does.
which means that Victor has grandkids.
Yes.
Hope is still around, and I understand that, maybe he didn't always get along with Hope, but it's not like Hope shot him in the chest and killed him for the last time, like she did Stefano.
Maybe the codicil, maybe the will, whatever, what they think they're following now with Xander. Maybe he gave the company to Xander, but he also gave money to others,
Oh, see, that's the torn off bottom of the will that's in Bo's hand.
right?
Yeah.
Because yes, he got the company. He got Titan. But perhaps there was money distributed as well. We don't need to tell us that. That's just not part of the story. What for? So maybe he really didn't give everything to him.
Maybe. I don't know. I didn't actually see the will, so I can't say. LaShun, hello, LaShun. LaShun says, Joy. I think she's a little bit behind. As you can be. You don't have to watch the live broadcast in the live moment. You can rewind this. Joy is really pregnant with Alex's baby, but she told Alex that she wasn't pregnant because he's in love with Stephanie. Joy is being respectful. She's trying to give Alex the freedom, the space, the life that he wants, and not saddle him to her because they are now going to have a baby.
Yeah, see, I went the whole different route, didn't I?
Yeah, yeah. So, well, who knows? Who knows? Maybe it's because she doesn't plan on keeping it. Maybe it's because she does plan on keeping it, but not letting Alex know that he's actually the father. Because she easily could be like, listen, Alex,
Well, if she's
Johnny
gonna
to
lie,
you to anybody else, like, it's totally believable.
if she's gonna lie about being pregnant, would have to. You would think that she would have to leave town because it's not going to be very long. Where obviously she's lying because she's going to have a tummy.
Unless she was like, well, I lied in this moment because I needed to figure out what it is I was going to do, Alex. We're not together. I need to figure out what my plans are. But yes, indeed, I am pregnant. But no, it's not yours. It's actually Cliff's from the bar because I get around. Johnny to Alex to Cliff. Okay?
Yeah, I'm kind of like Stephanie. I get around.
See,
You
and
know
then
something
and then
about
we have a
someone that
George,
gets
and then
around,
we
don't
get
you?
we get a fun George Glass situation.
Oh,
Okay, where now she's got to find a Cliff.
yeah,
You know,
that's funny.
how was Victor's will broken up? We're speculating. It doesn't seem like it was actually broken up or torn up, or there's a codicil
No.
or an extra piece of it, anything. We're just throwing out
Spinning.
potential soap plot out there because you can at any moment say, oh, by the way, you didn't notice that the will was torn at the bottom, did you?
You didn't notice on the bottom of the will it says turn over for more details.
Yeah, right. And then lo and behold, it was written in invisible ink, Roger Rabbit style. Like we can do
There
it.
you go.
We can do it. Because Stefano killed Bo, assumed. Oh, so Bo wasn't alive back then. I thought Victor's plane went down because he was visiting Bo in his coma in Switzerland or something, though. Unless Victor's will was just so out of date, which I don't think an old man like Victor would have kept out of date.
I don't think so either.
Especially a man like Victor who had plans on plans on plans.
Yeah, and he was always pissed at somebody, so he was probably taking them out and putting them in, taking them out and putting them in all the time.
What if this is just Will Part 1, right? And it's supposed to last for a year, and there's actually another document out there saying, well, if Xander behaved himself and Philip didn't lie, then this stuff happens. Xander behaved himself, but Philip lied, so now this other stuff doesn't happen. Huh?
Yeah. Like
Why
one of
not?
those books where go to page
Yeah.
40 or page 56.
Yeah, if you decide, if this happened, go to this section of the will. If that happened, go to this section of the will.
Like that.
Now it becomes an adventure. It becomes a scavenger hunt to find out exactly what Victor's last wishes were.
Oh, that's actually really fun.
See, that should have been the Victor demise story the whole time.
That's fun.
Days of Our Lives, I know you're watching. I know you're watching, I know you're listening, and I know that you're looking for some fresh ideas. I don't know if I can necessarily put words in the characters' mouths at the quality that y'all do, but if you need Mom and I to just hang out in the writer's room and talk about Days of Our Lives while the writers write down what it is that we just make up, that could be a job.
This is what they can do. Okay, Easter is on April 20th.
All right,
It's just around the corner.
it's too late to do that, but okay.
It is too late to do that. But you know what? They could start filming for next Easter pretty soon, okay? Because they're
yeah.
filming Christmas now.
Yeah, absolutely.
So this is the idea. Use it if you'd like. Yeah. You don't even have to use it for the Will story, but just use it for something else. Mm-hmm. So the Easter eggs have been filled with little pieces of some document. Little pieces.
Okay.
You've got to find all the eggs. And then
tape the
put
document
together the document.
Yes, it has all of the answers of what Victor
scavenger Easter egg hunt.
See, I would love it because we have wanted a scavenger hunt on Days of Our Lives for well over a year now. Mm-hmm. Because last Valentine, I think it was last Valentine's Day. It wasn't this Valentine's Day. It was last Valentine's Day, right? Mm-hmm. Where they were going to have like a sweetheart scavenger hunt. They were going to hide things all over Horton Town Square, and this was where Clyde Weston was at his worst. Mm-hmm. And I said, Clyde puts a bomb somewhere, and this scavenger hunt becomes, we're going to find Clyde's bomb.
Yeah.
And they didn't do that.
They didn't do
that indeed. No, instead they had a wonderful event. Same thing here with this fundraiser that's coming up. This is an opportunity for them to, like, listen, Days of Our Lives is right for a bomb, okay? Everybody knows about the bomb. Because here's the thing. The cast of characters is so good. Mm-hmm. And it's not like the other show, not like General Hospital, where there's just too gosh darn many of them, and they're only on for about 3 seconds anyway, even your big leads. So it's harder to pull off like, well, what if so-and-so and such have a da-da-da-da-da-da-da together? It's harder to do on that show. But on Days of Our Lives, it's a lot easier. A lot easier to be like, what if Chad and Leo?
You know that Chad and Kat are going to be kissing on each other real soon, and they're going to wind up buying each other in that fundraiser.
Yes, and then, yes, of course. And then, I don't know, are they going to run off together? Are we going to get a new Chad, or is Chad going to disappear like Stefan did?
I don't know.
I think we're going to get a new
I don't
Chad.
know. I don't know when.
I don't know
I wonder
either.
when Billy's last air date is.
I don't know, but since they announced it, I feel like he's going to show up on Young and the Restless sooner rather than later. Because they have announced
He's
it.
going to be like a Harris Jason.
So I feel like we might get a significant amount of Billy Flynn crossover. Yeah. Of him being on both shows. Especially since Days is doing Christmas now. And if he left 2 weeks ago, for example, to go move over to Young and the Restless, then we have 9 months of Chad story still in the can.
Sure.
So, I don't know.
And you know, and Steve was on Days for a long time after he showed back up.
Because of that 9-month thing. Sandra thinks it's going to be recast. Oh, Laura says, I didn't mean literally. I meant who did he leave to whom? Victor's will left everything to his son, Alexandros Kyriakis, also known as Xander.
Yes.
The reason why Alex was able to take that money for so long is because Victor wrote Alexandros Kyriakis, which is very easy to change to Alexander Kyriakis.
Yes.
And that's what Teresa did to get Alex that money, and then
Yeah.
basically try to be his kept woman.
Yeah. Teresa got big morals now, huh?
Oh yeah, she's recovered in jail. She's been to prison. Okay.
Yeah, she
I
has.
paid my time. I paid my debt to society.
She got big morals now.
Big morals. The biggest morals.
I was kind of thinking that maybe she was going to suggest that she have the baby and she'd be a grandma mama.
Jeannie says that Maggie got some of Victor's fortune, so there's another detail. They didn't play up that part of the story anywhere close than they did to Alex gets the money. So, gosh,
Remember when Alex was spending it like crazy?
Yes, buying cars and just being a rich person and not ever having to give a dollar of that back.
Boy, his love for Stephanie has made him a nice person again.
Well, until he
Yes.
finds out that he's got a baby on the way.
Yeah.
Could the will have been written under duress that we don't know about? Could be a twist, says Sandra. Anything could be a twist, especially with a character who's long dead. Find out anything about them. Anything. Anything. Victor did love Hope. Oh, well, that's nice. That's nice. I'm telling you, Ma, Victor became the more sympathetic character as time went on.
Yeah.
Like, he was still an asshole. But he was the more sympathetic one. Like, he had love and he did nice things.
He chilled out, kind of like Palmer did.
Maybe, and then I don't know. I don't know, folks. You let me know, and this can be a final thing that we talk about because it's getting late. At least the final whatever. Was Victor Kiriakis the Edward Quartermain of Days of Our Lives? Because Edward was not a nice man, and he did not do nice things. But
He loved his family, though, a lot.
But he also was like, you should not give me the medication to save me from this disease. You should give it to Emma.
Yes.
So, you let me know, folks. Was Victor Kiriakis the Edward Quartermain of Days of Our Lives?
I know Stefano was just bad to the core.
He was bad to the core.
He was bad to the core. I know that. Yep.
Just the ultimate.
EJ is a lot like his father.
Stefano Demir also gets historical soap credit for being soap opera's first supervillain.
Oh.
You had bad guys, you had philanderers, you had people who would cheat you. But when it comes to I'm going to destroy the city of Paris, you know, Stefano was the first soap opera supervillain.
And maybe he didn't like. Did he? I know what with Victor. Victor was funny sometimes.
He could be funny, yeah.
He could be funny. I wonder if Stefano could be funny. What do you think, Jeannie? Was he ever funny?
He probably had his moments, but I doubt they were moments of here's my punchline, but just more like a funny situation or a funny take on something.
Yeah. I mean, Victor pushing Nicole out of that window was hilarious.
Well, the chat agrees, and you guys, if you're not watching live, you can leave your opinion in the comments below. But Victor was more of a villain than Edward.
Oh.
So not a comparison there. Victor did more bad things than Edward. But he
More
had
of a schemer, I guess.
But he had a heart for characters that people did like. So I guess that could be a bridge there. You know, well, I've always... What? Hope. I've always liked that Hope. She's always had spunk, and I like spunk. That's how he talked. He talked like an old, 1940s news reporter.
Yeah.
Yeah, he totally did. He totally did, Ma. Like, I could see him
Like
being
Tracy
like...
almost.
Dragnet.
Dragnet.
Yes, you know what I'm talking about. You know,
Yeah,
just
I
that
do.
old Hollywood way of speaking.
Yes.
Anyway, folks, class dismissed. Get out. We're done. We're done talking about Days of Our Lives because I gotta prep for General Hospital coming up in 25 minutes. So
25 minutes.
So go take a break. Go pick up the everything bagel that you threw on the floor of the student union. Shove that into your mouth. Chew it up. Hop on the bullet train to New York. Because we got to leave Illinois behind and go to Port Charles to talk about General Hospital. So Victor had the funny one-liners. Says Jeannie.
Yeah, he did.
Did somebody order a hooker? So we're going to talk about General Hospital. We're going to talk about Carly and Jack. We're going to talk about Lucky and Liz. We're going to talk about Rick. We're going to talk about Ava. We're going to talk about Nia. We're going to talk about Christina. Okay. We're going to talk about Trina and Kai.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to talk about Maxie. We're going to talk about James. We're going to talk about Valentine Cassadine.
Nine? Oh
We're
my
going to
gosh.
talk about Lulu. We're going to talk about Brooklyn. We're going to talk about Gloria Cerullo.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about all that stuff.
In just 25 minutes from now.
So hang out with us on that. So like the video if you had a good time. Like the video if you didn't have a good time. Like the video if you like Days of Our Lives. Like the video if you like Bo and Hope. Like the video if you think that my glasses are cool. And leave a comment if you didn't watch live with what you thought. Leave an emoji. Leave something behind saying that you were here so I know that you watched.
Yeah.
And that's it. Remember, folks, to always swing for those fences. I've been Matt.
I've been Kat.
And we'll see you in just a little bit right back here on this very channel to talk about General Hospital.
All right, see you later, guys.
Goodbye.